Welcome back. All right, news of the day for all you fine people on the internet for your Sunday, January the 12th. Starting with the waiver wire, the Canucks have waived Brannstrom, which it's not really a surprise as their defense is getting healthier and Brannstrom's seen as the guy who gets sent down. A lot of debate amongst Canuck fans about whether he should have been kept and they should have sent one of the other players down, like Brisebois or whoever, but the reality is that a healthier blue line for Vancouver is really good news, so Brannstrom's on waivers. We'll see if he clears. The Bruins have waived McLaughlin. McLaughlin very likely clears. Good depth forward, but I don't see him necessarily being picked up. But hey, we've been surprised recently, haven't we? Dakota Mermis being picked up by Toronto, bit of a surprise there. So who knows? Maybe we'll see McLaughlin picked up. Bunting was apparently involved in an accident outside of PPG Paints Arena, but Coach Mike Sullivan saying he's okay. He's not going to play in the game against Tampa, though, that's about to get started. So Bunting's going to be out for a game, but apparently it's nothing major. He's okay. It just doesn't. It sounds like he's just not going to be playing today. Probably a bit shaken up. So understandable. We'll see how many games he misses. Probably just be the one if he's all right after that. The Florida Panthers got a 2-game upcoming road trip, or an upcoming 2-game road trip. That's better. Ekblad and Gadjevich will not be traveling with the Florida Panthers on said road trip. So Florida, a team that's got a lot of depth, and I think that Florida is due for going on another run because they seem to be overdue for one at this point. So we'll see if they do or don't, but may not have Ekblad and Gadjevich for these 2 games. So somebody else will have to step in. More for Ekblad than Gadjevich, of course. Gadjevich is kind of in and out of the lineup. Anyways, Wedgwood has been removed from IR by the Colorado Avalanche, so that means Blackwood, Wedgwood are your tandem again. I thought Minor was decent in his call-up, so he may be called upon again by the Colorado Avalanche at some point, but Wedgwood being off of IR is good news. He has played very well since arriving in Colorado. Speaking of goaltending, there's been a lot of eyeballs on the Ottawa Senators, the idea that Ottawa needs to upgrade their goaltending, right? Because Ullmark's out, Forsberg's been a little shaky, and so then you're getting into the depth. But General Manager Steve Staios saying that he is comfortable with the depth they have in net, and he's not out there seeking another goaltender. And honestly, the market for goaltenders right now, I don't know that there's going to be somebody out there who's available who's an upgrade that wouldn't be difficult to add in terms of cap. The one obvious one would be John Gibson in Anaheim. I expect his name to come up a lot over the next month and a half. But I understand where Staios is coming from here. You're just kind of saying, hey, I'll give them a vote of confidence, especially after the way Merrilainen has played since he's been called up. He's been all right. So if Merrilainen can keep that up, Staios may actually be correct on this. And by the time Ullmark comes back, maybe Ottawa's still in the hunt for, or maybe above that playoff line. Maybe they're in the hunt for the playoffs above that line, but goaltending has not overall hurt Ottawa since the injury to Ullmark. Ty Smith clears waivers for Carolina. They put him on waivers yesterday, so Ty Smith will be going down to the minors. And they're retiring Eric Staal's number today. So Eric Staal, his retirement in Carolina, I think that's great. We'll see if he ends up going to the Hall of Fame as well once he's eligible. I don't think he's eligible as of yet. He played last year, right? Yeah, so he's got a while to go before we're going to see him in the Hall of Fame if he gets there, but that's a whole debate for another time. Congratulations to him on getting his number retired by the Carolina Hurricanes. Scoring around the National Hockey League. So there's been a lot of talk about scoring. Goals per team, according to Hockey Reference, currently sitting at an even 3. It's been dropping too. Earlier in the season, it was at like 3.1. Last year it was 3.08 goals per team. So right now it's down to 3. The previous year it was 3.14, which is a high point. The year before that, 2021-2022, it was 3.11 goals per team per game. So scoring is down a little bit, which I kind of knew it would be. And I think the shot shaving is there, meaning that they're doing the shot audit regularly. The shots on goal are down to 28.2 shots per game, which is down from 30.1. And again, this is per team per game. So that's down about 4 shots per game from last year, and it is the lowest average per team since the 03-04 season. So the last year before the lockout, 28.2 shots per game per team that year. And hockey was a tough watch at that point in time. 03-04, it was tough. That was when the trap was really, really prominent and scoring was low. So the fact that we're seeing scoring drop a little bit, but the shots have dropped off by, I would say, a lot, going from 30.1 to 28.2, and remembering that's for all 32 teams on average. Yeah, I think it's the shot audit that they've got really, really strict about. Yvonne was even saying last night at a game in Abbotsford here that she'd see the shots and see it go up on the board, and she was even thinking, so would that have actually hit the net? Should that have counted as a shot? So there you go. But let me know your thoughts. And hey, Abbotsford's been playing all right, although it was against Henderson, so we'll see how Abbotsford does going forward. But Abbotsford playing pretty well, and they had really good attendance last night too. The attendance in Abbotsford's been down. I know I said I was going to do a video on that. I have not got around to that yet. At some point I'm going to. But yeah, so nice to see the Abbotsford Canucks getting some wins on the weekend. And the Vancouver Canucks, of course, got that win last night over Toronto. We'll see if they can get more than that. I think they just won, so they'd mess up the power rankings comment section. I think that's what it was. Vancouver looked awful all week, and then they beat Toronto on Saturday, so Canuck fans come running over to the power rankings like, oh, why are we down there? Because there's the rest of the week too. But anyways, there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.